What is up, guys? Welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. Mike, Nate, how's it going today?
Good, man.
Good.
Hanging out, bro.
Listen, you guys showed up and you're looking good. You're matching, which is great. So already, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out because these guys, they came to impress, and I'm here for it.
A little bit. You know.
We try, man. We
Gotta
try.
stay ready.
All right, so the podcast is Maybe You're Like Me, and there's people out there that may not have met you guys yet or seen your guys' desserts or heard about Mike and Mike's and all of that good stuff. So for those people out there that don't know, let's start with you guys as individuals, and then we'll get to the brand stuff. But who are you guys? Give us your names and tell us a quick who you are.
I'm Mike from Mike and Mike's Desserts. I'm a co-founder.
And Nate, Mike and Mike's Desserts, co-founder as well. Operations. Mike is more of the brand strategist. Yeah.
All right. And just general overall looks, do you guys share that, or is that a...
A little bit, you know, try to stay always together.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier, and like you guys are both like in shape. Like it seems like you guys are putting in the work to make it look good.
I got to, man.
To be fair, Mike more than me.
Listen, you're a stunner. That's all there is to it. So
yeah, man.
Too kind, man.
All right. So on the podcast, we're talking to people like you guys who are doing amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have your own desserts factory, emporium. I don't know what the correct word is, but emporium sounds good.
Yeah.
And so
It's a good word. I like it.
yeah, that's it. So for people out there that may have just seen you on Instagram, so if we're going to get past Instagram, let's start with Instagram. So if people are following you guys online, what is the highlight reel? Like, what is like, we're really making it, we're really doing it. This is what we're showing everybody is going on. What's that, Mike and Mike's Desserts?
Cupcakes and
Yeah.
more cupcakes.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're going to get strategic about it, Mike and Mike's is a free from bakery that sells into in-store bakery currently.
Sweet.
So when we say free from, there's no nuts, there's no eggs, there's no dairy, but still the product can actually taste good. Essentially started with Mike, saw a need in the market and kind of thought and said, hey, if we could, take something that is, regular and flip it to, vegan at the time, but also free from, but also still tastes good. I think there's something that we could really hit in the market, and that's what we're starting to do. And so on social, it's just a reflection of what we're ultimately trying to position ourselves in the market. At first, it seemed like we were kind of getting beat over the head with people not really seeing what we were ultimately doing, but now the market is really starting to shift towards people that have
early.
allergies. So
Yeah, no, I've got friends that their kids or themselves, they've got different allergies to different things.
Right.
And they're always trying to find like, so this is a long, long time ago. I was in my early 20s and I just had the idea it was when vlogging first came out, like people doing video logs.
Right.
And I had the idea that I was going to be vegan I don't need to be vegan. But I'm going to be vegan I think it was, at first it was as long as I could go. And then I got a week and a half into it and I was like, I'm going to be vegan for 2 weeks.
I'm about to say realistically, what was that?
So it wasn't the be all end all of anything, because the thing that really annoyed me was I didn't want to cheat at all. So I didn't want to be eating fake cheese. I'm like, don't lie to me. This isn't cheese.
Yeah.
And so like, to find good products that were made with good ingredients and things, I spent that whole 2 weeks feeling like I was eating a series of sides.
Right.
And so because it was,
just
like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have green beans for dinner tonight with a side of green beans. And it was like, I titled it, I'm the very worst vegan, but like to see that there's guys like you making really cool stuff that meets needs for people that they're doing it either by choice or there's people with allergies that are stuck not being able to eat what they want to. It's cool that we have people like you in our community making amazing things. So on behalf of my friends, thank you. And on behalf of their waistlines, I'm sorry.
Oh, for sure. So what would you rate your experience through that whole process?
So way back then, a 2. The best thing that came out of it was one of my friends gave me a vegan chili recipe. And I think it was like day 6 or 7, and I was dying for something that was hearty at all. And so that vegan chili gave me life, and I still eat it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good. But now I load it up with cheese and sour cream. So
it's kind of offsetting it a little bit.
You got
nothing wrong with that.
You got to fix your carbon footprint a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, so and the carbon that makes on the back end of the chili is not great. It's a lot of beans.
I know.
We don't need to get into that detail though.
I know.
All right, so give us the Mike and Mike story. So what caused you guys to start this bakery? What was the thought behind it? And like, get us up to today. What did you guys do? Why is it? What's going on with you?
I'll let Mike start, and then I'll jump in.
The old story here. So originally started with my mom's recipes. These are all family, just regular, everyday eggs, dairy, the whole thing that you usually know with a regular dessert. So, everybody say, oh, well, why don't you see if you can put it in the store? This is good stuff. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me see if I can. I took it upon myself to see if I could actually do this. So, my first, what was it? I think my first account I went after was Circle K. So, for 3 months, I would drive to Temple Terrace every day. Just to open up that door to see if I could actually get it in there. I did, but fell through. And from there, I flipped it to plant-based.
Okay.
And This to still have the same taste that the regular stuff had, but also taste better.
Okay.
So then I met Nate. If you want to talk about.
Yeah. So Mike and I went to high school together. I had a couple businesses I had started, and it was 2018 at the time. He called me and told me what he was working on.
That's cool.
And it was around the same time. The whole situation kind of fell apart with Circle K.
Right.
But, just kind of seeing a need in the market, and like almost like because I think the feedback from Circle K was we're going up against Hostess and all this other stuff. So Mike said it was like, well, what if we, change that and be a little bit different?
Yeah.
But still taste good.
Yeah.
And to me, I told Mike, I remember back then I said, man, I feel like if we can put some structure behind this business, we really have something that we could grow. So they launched.
We originally launched in Miami.
Oh wow!
The second largest. We got all the second largest family-owned grocery stores down there. It's called Milo's Market, and instant success. But it was so much volume that we couldn't even keep up with the demand. So essentially, we had to shut it down. And it was 2020 or 2021.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, 2020, just to get the foundation right to what you see today. So in order for us to even keep up with that demand to supply the product to the consumers.
Yeah. So way back, Mike and I's office was Starbucks.
Okay.
Off Beacon. That's now the Lovebirds.
Oh yeah.
And so we would meet there almost every other day and just talk through kind of what we needed to do. At the time, we didn't know what it's called co-manufacturing was.
Okay.
But Mike did a whole bunch of research, and every day he would just try to find someone that could co-manufacture the product. Eventually, after almost a year and a half, we were able to find our first co-manufacturer.
Cool.
And so our business is kind of capital intensive. So we raised a small amount of capital to start.
Okay.
And we leveraged that to go into our first retailer with a co-manufacturer, which was Chamberlain's. And that was just Mike. Really, yeah.
Now I'm just guessing here. You haven't said anything about this, but is this you guys Shark Tanking me? Are you wanting me to invest?
Oh yeah, no.
I feel like I could do it.
No.
I've got tens of dollars that I could invest in this right now. So if you want me to get in on the ground floor,
We'll give him a pack of cupcakes.
Yeah.
Is a pack of cupcakes? All right, that's all I need.
Hey, we got you.
Yeah, I got tens of dollars in exchange for half of a cupcake. So
nice.
I got you, man.
All right, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Keep going with the story.
Good. Yeah, so long story short, we leveraged that initial capital to start with a local co-manufacturer in Florida that equipped us to be able to launch into Chamberlain's, and then we just kind of leveraged that into developing a strategic relationship with Publix to go into the Greenwise stores. And today we're growing and actively trying to build our business, and we can go into more details of what that looks like. But yeah, it's been a journey. I know Mike and I were kind of reflecting the other day, just thinking about how much time and effort it's taken to kind of get to this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of pushback just because a lot of people in the beginning just didn't see a need for this market. But we believed more so than ever, just the amount of people and consumers that had intolerances I didn't even realize until we stepped into this business even deeper. The amount of people that had allergies to even like things like eggs, and astronomical of consumers that have allergies to nuts and dairy and all these different things, and they just don't have access. So we're like, if we can make something that's accessible to everyone and it tastes good to everyone, including the people that
at an affordable price,
that's the key, at an affordable price, then we feel like we can really grow something.
That's awesome. The thing that you were talking about, like the business side of things, and you hear like even on TV shows like Shark Tank, people that they get into it and because they didn't have like a firm foundation, things kind of crumbled. But what's been fun in watching you guys, I've seen you guys coming up here in Lakeland for a little bit, and it's really cool seeing that you guys aren't just building a business. You guys make these great desserts, and that's fantastic, and that's good. But it seems like you're really bringing the community along with you.
Yeah, that's important to have that foundation, because we are here locally, and Publix is right here. So having that strong foundation here will help support the business as it grows, you know.
Yeah, but not only Publix, you guys are in farmers markets and in like reaching out and doing events with people instead of asking people to come to you. You guys are out there making it happen with people, and that's really cool to me. I'm big on community. Yeah. That's why I love living in Lakeland. It's because the city, it seems like either unintentionally or intentionally, but I think it's intentionally, they do things with family and people in mind. So
I agree.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. That's something that Mike and I talk about constantly, about being involved in the community and being at these local events. It's important. And for us, it's exciting because a lot of times we're just locked in our office, just working. So be able to talk to people and engage with people in the community is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sometimes you can feel like you're in a vacuum. You're working away, making everything happen, and then you don't get to see the back end of people enjoying it. But when you're out there and with people, you get to see how much people love the stuff you make. And I see it online all the time. People going to town on your guys' cupcakes and just loving it. So what you guys are doing is needed, and it's so cool that it's in our community too. So thank you guys.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
truly.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so on the podcast, we do things in a couple of rounds. The first round, I call it the first date round.
Okay.
Because if you've ever been on a first date, you know that they can be kind of awkward. And so the thing is, like, you try to ask the right questions. You don't want to just ask, like, do you like cheese? Because everybody likes cheese.
Hope so.
Yeah. If not, there's some people that have a dairy allergy. We'll forgive them. Moving on. But you want to ask the right questions.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
You want to ask the right kind of questions. So these are just some fun kind of get to know you guys questions, and let's just have some fun with some of these. Cool. But if you had to be stuck on a deserted island, not a desert island, but we can play that game too. Okay. If you want to be stuck on a desert island, let's do that now. I've just made up my mind. We're changing the question. If you were stuck on a desert island, number one, what is the dessert? Okay. Number two, who's the celebrity you're stuck on the desert island with? And it can't be your spouse or your significant other. Sorry.
I'm going to say Kevin Hart.
Okay. That's a good choice.
Very good choice. And I say dessert. Tres leches.
Ooh, okay. All three of the leches?
All three.
Okay.
Maybe four. I don't know. But yes.
Oh, man. Yeah. I love me some tres leches. Any reason for Kevin Hart? Just keep you laughing?
Oh, yeah. Because we almost had a little run in with Kevin Hart. You know, was kind of working with his team and stuff. So kind of like got a little, like a personal little thing right there. With
okay.
Hart, so.
Cute little man. Yeah. Love me some Kevin Hart.
Small little guy. Small little guy. But yeah, man.
That's cool. Yeah. If I'm stuck on somewhere, I want to be laughing the whole time while I'm actively dying. But outside
that's
of that,
the only way to go out.
Yeah, man. What about you? What do you got?
Man, I was thinking about it. I'm terrible at this stuff. I'm just gonna say something. I don't know. I guess like Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Great actor, really wise man.
Absolutely.
Has a lot of wisdom. So if anything, if we know that we're stuck there, at least we're gonna have some wisdom nuggets for the rest of our lives.
Okay.
And then as far as dessert, I'm a basic guy.
Okay.
Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream is my go-to.
All right, so your island is very cold, but
how are you gonna keep that? It's gonna be a milkshake, basically.
Well, how are you gonna? Well, the tres leches, you don't got a fridge, so it's just like
must a cake though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
I think I'm trying to think of dessert I would want to do. I'm a very basic dude. Like throw me some strawberry shortcake or
nice,
classic. Out of the box, funfetti cake.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Betty
a sucker.
Crocker or Duncan Hines?
I think Betty Crocker. I'm not sure.
Ooh,
The deal is this: every year I ask my mom, or like growing up, I asked my mom, like, Mom just knew that I wanted funfetti cake.
Okay.
And now my wife, she knows it's just simple. Just make me funfetti cake or cupcakes. And to the point that every now and again, like my birthday's in February, and like the end of January, early February, like I'll go to the grocery store, I'll grab a box and be like, what's this doing in our pantry, babe? She's like, shut up. I know you want funfetti not funfetti pancakes.
So what's the deal with funfetti? Why do you like it?
I don't know. It's just, I like me a good vanilla cupcake. So
vanilla icing on top.
Vanilla icing on top.
It's a classic right there.
You can't go wrong with that right there. If only there was a version without any milk in it, then I would just eat that up. But wait a minute.
Look up. Look at here.
Uh-oh. Luckily,
Very
I've
slick,
recently
I like
invested in a
Very slick. I like it.
and then on guest or like person on the island with me, I think I would do. I like the idea of laughing the whole time.
Laughing while dying.
Yeah. In my version, I want to be rescued. I had the thought that earlier I was thinking I would do Bear Grylls, the guy who survival guy.
That
but
was
now
smart.
that I'm on,
you can do Tom Hanks. No, he was Castaway. Now I'm just saying.
Tom Hanks gets saved a couple times.
He does.
Or,
he does.
Matt Damon too. He gets saved in all of his
Smart.
movies. So I
That's
might
true.
pick
That's
him.
true. That's
Smart.
That's true.
Smart, strategic.
But on the funny side, I think I would go with a like a Conan O'Brien or a Martin Short.
Oh, for sure.
Steve Martin, those guys.
For sure.
So if it was Steve Martin or Martin Short, that's laughing and nuggets of wisdom. So
yeah, I like the balance.
Our worlds combined.
That is
So
smart.
Okay.
just for fun, what's your favorite Denzel movie?
Oh man, Man on Fire is really good.
Okay.
It's about it's a dance between a balance between Man on Fire and American Gangster.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't say Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans, a classic too.
That movie has everything. It has Denzel.
Yeah.
It has ending racism. And it has Ryan Gosling. So
yeah.
What more could you want in a movie?
True.
That's
I forgot it did have Ryan. It did have a young Ryan Gosling in there.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin Hart, same question. Favorite movie, or are you more into his comedy specials?
I like his movies, but his comedy specials they're different.
Mm-hmm.
They're unique.
Yeah.
No.
He's a person that just yells funny to me.
Right.
And in the Jumanji movies,
oh yeah,
he's just yelling the whole time.
Yep.
Yes.
And so you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Classic.
All right. So quick question. Moving on to another question here.
Okay.
Do you guys cook? I know you guys can bake, but can you also cook?
I can cook.
You can?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Are you guys good cooks, or is it like I can make scrambled eggs?
Probably say I'm pretty decent.
Okay.
I'm pretty good. I cook for my wife all the time.
All right, good on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So in cooking, there's so many different types of food you can make. There's you got your American classics. You can grill on the grill, or you can barbecue, or you can.
Right.
There's Italian food, Mexican food. Is there any type of food that you don't know how to make, but you would want to learn how to make?
I'm gonna say Greek.
Greek food?
Mediterranean Greek food.
Okay.
Cut the kava.
Oh yeah, kava's delicious.
Have you heard of kava?
Uh-uh.
Kava is a Mediterranean, almost like a Chipotle style restaurant. It's in Tampa. Try it. Trust me.
Yeah, it's really good.
Actually, I don't know if you guys know this. Today's episode is actually sponsored by Kava. So
go
to Kava for all your Mediterranean needs.
Where is
Check
it
it
at?
out.
Where is it at?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
You started salivating as I was asking the question, and I just wondered what was going on in your head there.
No. I used to actively watch the Food Network as a kid and watch the Chopped cooking shows and all that stuff, man. I love to cook when I have the chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the type of person that I could, if I can see the recipe or look it up online, and I can usually back into it. So I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to talk to you guys about this already too. Number one, I'm very happy that you guys can bake, but baking is a skill that I do not have. I can cook, but I cannot bake.
It's
cooking,
an art for sure.
you can kind of like mix around stuff and like throw in stuff here and there, but baking is science.
Yep.
And your boy's dyslexic, and it's just not great.
Yeah.
I read the recipe 9 times as I'm pouring the thing in, and then I skip a line on accident,
Right.
and somehow everything's on fire. It's not great.
So you just leave it to your wife.
I do. Actually, for a little bit, my wife owned a baking company in town, and they made French macarons. I did. She can bake.
Oh, wow.
And so there's that whole, like, we complete each other.
It's the perfect marriage, literally.
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah, my mom is Southern, and so I can make great, like, Southern food, chicken fried steak, that kind of stuff. And
that sounds good.
You guys coming over for dinner?
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, let's go. But I can't bake. But I've been thinking about this recently. Somebody for lunch the other day here had a like red beans and rice in a Cajun sauce, and I'd really enjoy learning how to make Cajun food, like real good. Now, where do you guys fall on the spice side of things? Do you like spicy or not spicy?
Not spicy,
I'm
man.
on the mild side. I
can't do it, man. I can't do too much spice.
Tear you up.
I used to have buddies that we would go to a wing place or whatever, and they'd be like, "I want to die as I eat this," and I'm like, "That's That's not a way to live. Please give me a mild and or a teriyaki.
I can enjoy the.
Yeah, let me live my.
I like enjoying the flavors. The flavor profile for me is everything. If I can't enjoy the flavors, it's like, what am I doing? What am I eating for?
Suffering.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
So I'm guessing you guys are live to eat or eat to live. I'm thinking live to eat.
Live to eat.
Yeah.
Am I paid to suffer? No, I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah, no one's here for that.
I'm good.
I love it, and so now I want to go eat all those things too. It sounds really good.
I'm down, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're getting close to lunchtime here. Let's
Yeah.
go grab some Mediterranean and some Cajun, and let's just live it up.
Yeah. Sounds great, man. Sounds great.
Whole thing, yes, sir.
Okay, so on the show, it's maybe you're like me, and so we can talk about things like what kind of food you like or how much Kevin Hart makes you laugh all day long. But we want to get to the kind of the heart of who you guys are. Okay. And so we can talk about cupcakes and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to get to know you guys a little better. And so I'm going to ask you guys questions. I call this the slow round. It's a few layers deeper than cupcakes and Kevin Hart. But I want to talk to you guys about, you guys are running a small business together. And already, even in your story, you kind of talked about some of the highs and lows, but what are some of the things that you've had to overcome, some hurdles you had to overcome in the last, let's say 3 years, because life has changed for everybody. The pandemic messed with people. And so you guys have highs and lows in business. So what's some things you guys have had to overcome in your business, and how have you guys worked together to get through those things?
Mike just tossed it off to me.
Shoved it over to you.
Shoved it over to me.
A little alley-oop and I'll come out there.
I mean, I think I'm going to toss it back to Mike. We're playing ping pong
here. Okay.
Maybe you should kind of talk about the whole situation with Circle K and your thought through that.
Yeah. That probably is the biggest decision I had to make. As far as like when that fell through, is either are you going to let it affect you, or you're going to fold, or are you going to push through it? Because again, I'm doing this with driving there every day, cupcakes in a cooler in the back seat. So when that fell through, all the hard work you did, gone. So
yeah,
I had to make a decision to, am I going to keep doing this, or am I just fall in line? So that was a pivotal moment in the business.
Yeah, it sounds like the relationship you had started with Circle K, maybe it wasn't the right partnership for you at that time, and so it seems like you decided at that point, like, I'm not going to stop here though.
Right.
Not every no is no forever, or no for everybody.
Right. So. And it was a lesson. And again, we wouldn't be able to fill that type of order anyway, because it was like 400 gas stations. We didn't know what we were doing. I was just going out there. Hey, you want to buy this? Okay, cool. Let's do it. But from there, I learned everything. Took that to what this business is now and applied those concepts. And now I was able to build that foundation to what you guys see today in order to supply all these products and go to all these stores.
That's cool.
That was a great lesson for me.
Yeah. You want to fill in on that too?
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many times that we've had just so many obstacles, because when you think about it, we're in the distribution, logistics, marketing, administrative business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's so many different nuances. So a lot of things can not go the direction you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the timelines to launch products in retail take a very long time, a lot longer than most people realize, especially when you're first starting off and you don't necessarily know what you're doing. So I would say probably one of the most challenging things has been being properly capitalized, because our business is a very capital intensive business.
For sure. And
so when we first raised our round of capital, we were blessed to have someone that truly believed in us and understood what we were doing. But as we've grown, a lot of the challenges has just been due to the fact that we just didn't have enough capital to do certain things. And so we've had to kind of come as a team and say, okay, what are we going to do and what we're not going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And especially as we've been growing, that's very challenging when you have really big opportunities, but you just know that you don't have the financial means to meet that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. That's conversations where we're just like, okay, we want to hit this goal, but we know we don't have the finances in place to be able to hit that. And that's challenging. And then when I think back to the beginning, Mike and I had a lot of tough conversations with each other just to work through figuring out, okay, we're not paying ourselves anything.
Yeah.
How do we how do we survive? What do we need to do to make sure that we're good? And because when a lot of people don't, you don't think about that when you're first starting off the business.
No revenue.
There's no revenue coming in.
Yeah.
And then when there is revenue coming in, it all has to go back into the business. You can't pull any of that revenue out. If you do, there's no money in the bank account. So that was very challenging. I remember 2021, Mike asked me to come inside the business like full time. And I remember sitting down with my wife and we talked about it, prayed about it. I said, you know what? Like, what if I just, because I was diversified doing a lot of different projects. I was like, what if I just do one thing and focus with Mike and we really build something? But even within that, that was challenging. And Mike and I had a pretty, a big conversation just saying, hey, this is about to happen, birth of my son. I want to make sure that, we're financially good. And thankfully we were able to, everything worked out. But in that time, we're just like, man, okay,
just don't know.
We really need to push really hard to make sure that we have enough finances coming in so that we can pay ourselves a livable wage to survive. So, yeah.
That just for, this is a question I have. If you had to put a number on how many times that you've had to make the decision, like, are we going to keep doing this? In the last, you guys have been doing this for 6-7 years now. How many times would you say you've had to make that like hard call of like, are we going to keep pushing through this or are we going to just stop? Because again, we're talking about how on Maybe You're Like Me, I see the success side of you guys. It seems like you guys are crushing in every area. And in my brain, because I see that right now, I think that you guys have been crushing it forever and that every day is sunshine and roses.
That's what you assume.
And so I would bet hundreds of dollars that you guys have had the internal struggle of what are we doing? Why are we doing this? It'd be easier to just take a job somewhere else. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, a couple times, but again, knowing me from where I started, I wasn't paying myself then, but I did that for 3 months. So this part here is kind of, I wouldn't say easy, but I'm not going to stop. I done got this far already.
Yeah.
Here with a little bit of money that we already raised. So on the other side, it's going to be easier.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily ever had conversations about like, oh, we're going to quit. It was just, what do we need to do in order to get to where we're trying to go? Right?
Yeah.
And so that can be tough. It's like from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, you got this, you launched here, you launched here. But it's like, okay, what do we need to do in order to get to that next step?
Yeah.
So I feel like in order to get to the success that you were trying to reach, you can't allow that self-doubt to creep in.
Yeah.
Because if you start saying, oh, might as well just give up, it's like, okay, you've thrown in the towel as opposed to saying, okay, this is a challenge that we need to get past. What do we need to do to get to the other side?
Yep. And that goes back to that pivotal moment I had to make, to decide to, or am I going to give up or am I going to keep going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, there won't be no plant-based cupcakes out here. So
yeah. And I'm grateful that you guys not only made the decision to keep going, but you made the sacrifices along the way to make way for you guys to keep doing what you're doing. So,
right.
And there's hundreds and hundreds of people that are out there currently eating a cupcake, thanking God for you guys making that decision.
Yeah, all life lessons,
Yeah. And it means a lot too, because, again, sometimes we're in the office, but I remember specifically we went to an event, Mike, and this lady came up and she almost like teary-eyed, like, thank you so much for what you guys do. It means a lot. And so that's reasons why we do what we do too. That helps us and motivates us to come into the office every day, even when it's a down day and things aren't working out exactly how we want it to work. We're doing it. It's bigger than just us, if that makes sense. Again, it's not just us.
Just building a community and just having them come behind us, it's super important for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, again, like you see the success side. And so it's cool seeing, number one, that there's real people behind the businesses that you love, and especially local businesses.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
And so it's fun. I've honestly really enjoyed in the podcast getting to meet the people behind some things that I enjoy. And so guys like you making great things, or we've got to talk to Chris MacArthur from Black and Brew. And I enjoyed just seeing what and who makes our community come alive, and it's people like you. So thank you guys.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Truly, we do.
All right, so another fun one, and this might take you down memory lane for a second, but what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh man, there's been a lot of wisdom nuggets.
How many of them have been from Denzel Washington?
You can tell so many.
Training day.
I think the thing that I think about the most, and Mike and I kind of started to live by this mantra: you're rewarded in public for what you've been practicing for years in private.
Yeah.
And so we've just kind of put our face to the grindstone. We're not trying to get notoriety by this. We're not trying to be, well known and celebrities. We're just trying to grind and build a business, and we're not flashy. We're just building it the old fashioned way.
Yep.
And because of it, now we're starting to be on podcasts like this and be in different news articles and things like that. So I think that is something that we've been self-reflecting on, and just being consistent, and being a lot of people that are extremely successful and have made lots of money have told us to stay humble. And
I agree. That's the biggest thing. For me, I guess it's a quote by Kobe. Dedication makes dreams come true. So just being dedicated every day to that craft, and like you said, being consistent every day and just showing up. That'll take you a long way. Again, not in business, but just in life in general. It's super important.
And I think that's the secret that we kind of live by. Mike played sports growing up, and so did I. It's just the consistency of just not giving up. And just coming back every single day. Eventually, something's going to crack open. And so that's why I was like, man, why did I forget that? That's why in 2021, I was like, you know what? Let me just focus on one thing and be really good at that.
Yeah.
We'll see a light at the end of the tunnel eventually, even if it looks completely dark,
Yeah.
So,
No, that theme has popped up more than you would guess on this podcast, how important consistency is. It's easy to go into any creative venture, a bakery or anything, and just think that you're going to be an overnight success.
Right.
I constantly fall into that trap.
Yep.
I am so surprised I'm not famous yet. Just kidding.
We all do.
Yep.
You guys are wondering why I'm not famous? Thank you. It means a lot to me. But it's so easy to fall into the trap of I'm doing this work right now, so I should have the rewards right now. But I like both of you guys seem to be headed in the same direction on consistency is key, and the work that you do behind the scenes makes the biggest difference on the public facing side of things too.
Yeah, for sure. Even with the podcast that you're doing right now, you're doing every episode. You're always being consistent. You're bringing different people on. So, over time you might not see it now, but it will happen for you. Just
the tortoise versus the hare is that childhood story. The tortoise was just consistent. The hare was, I'm faster. I'm going to brag about it. I'm going to stop and dance and party. The tortoise just consistently just kept moving. So that's how we see it. It's like there's so many people in our industry that have raised, 12, 15, $30 million and are scaling super fast, but a lot of them have a meteoric fall too. So it's like, okay, let's just be consistent. Okay. We haven't raised as much money, but we know we're making a good product. We know we're making something that people believe in. Let's just be consistent and keep showing up. Eventually it'll pay off.
Yeah. Even in the business side, I brought up Shark Tank earlier. If you guys don't watch that show,
absolutely.
It's ridiculous. But there's so many people that they're kind of that flash in the pan that you were talking about that they didn't put in the work on the backside, and they hadn't had the struggles that you had, like the struggle you had with trying to figure out how to sell to so many stores and figuring out that whole capital side of things. So many people fall on that. Another kind of theme that's been brought up in the podcast so many times is people not realizing that I talk to a lot of creative people. And so the creative people not realizing that there's a business side to their business. And so people learning marketing, people learning, again, the capital stuff, and all that behind the scenes stuff is so important to making the actual business run. And so you just think that you're going to make your coffee mug and that everybody's going to come lining up for coffee mugs. But I've got 800 coffee mugs in my kitchen. And so you got to put the work in to make what you do unique and special. And you guys have done, at least from hearing what you're saying, if you're not lying to me, you guys have put in the work.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting what you said there, because what's really cool about Mike is he is a creative, but over these past few years, 5+ years, he's turned himself into a businessman too. And so he has that balance of the creative side.
Yeah, he gave me his business card. It says mogul on it. I don't know. Is that how you're self-promoting?
Yeah, man. How'd he get it, dude? How'd he get it? You caught us. You caught us red-handed.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that balance. Again, like you said, can't just put out product and not have a business strategy behind it. So I learned that over the years to, let other people do good at what they're great at. And I just do good what I'm great at. So
yeah. That's a huge lesson that a lot of people could learn. So this is the most businessy episode we've ever done, and I like it. This is great.
Cool. Yeah, man.
You guys are. I'm just gonna go ahead and put Mike and Mike's moguls, and you guys.
Yeah, man. Do you want to say the announcement?
We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Gotcha.
Wait. All right,
do
so
it at the end. Gotcha.
spoilers. They've got a big announcement. I'm pretty sure that it's Beyonce is gonna be selling their cupcakes at her
Get your
shows.
tickets here first.
Yeah. I'm not sure. That's just my guess. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a second.
Gotcha.
But a question we ask everybody on the podcast, and I'd love to hear what you guys say. And it might be a lot of the stuff we've already talked about, but what's something you've learned or that you're learning right now?
Never leave a door closed. Always leave it open. Those relationships will take you farther than what you think you are. Whenever you need it.
Yeah.
You never know when you're gonna need that person. So just having that relationship and keeping that open, is super important, especially in business right now.
Yeah, that's genius. Community and people are people make businesses run. And so if you can't be with and not burn bridges with people, then you're not going to get very far. I love
relationships.
Yeah, man. What about you?
Yeah, it's piggybacking off of Mike. Relationships in this business has changed the game for our business.
Yeah.
And so developing and cultivating those relationships are so key. And that's something that Mike's really good at. I'm good at more of the execution of once we're in the door, if that makes sense.
Right.
Mike builds the relationship and then it's like, hey, okay, you guys ready to like do this thing? And so that's the balance that we create. But I'm learning over time the importance of continuing to cultivate those relationships and building on those relationships are so key because a lot of times you're 3 or 4 degrees of separation of where you ultimately want to be connected with. Mm-hmm. And so building that is key. And at the end of the day, especially if people are trying to grow their business in our category, developing a relationship with your buyer and knowing what they like and don't like is so key because that's what we did. And he was able to open up a lot of doors that we couldn't have done by ourselves.
Right. It sounds like you guys, and I could be very wrong about this and you guys can yell at me if you want to, but it sounds like you guys have a strong partnership and that you see businesses rise and fall based on their leadership. And it seems like and people can have an stroke of ego and all that kind of stuff and it ruins things, but it seems like you guys really work well together.
Yeah.
And so,
it's not just us, again, like Skylar here and Kaylee and Maria. As a team, we all work together as a cohesive unit to kind of make sure you guys see whatever you see out in the public, the cupcakes, the socials, all that stuff. It's all a team effort at the end of the day.
Yeah, we put people in the roles that they need to be in. And I think Mike and we have a great balance between, we knew each other as friends, but also as business. So it's like when we talk business, we talk business. When we're talking friendship, we talk friendship. And we know where those lines lay, And of course we've had our challenges. Because it's business. Business, the true side of yourself comes out.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the true side of ourselves is also the business side of ourselves. If that makes sense, it's like a nice balance.
We have great advisors as well that people don't know, but they also help us as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not just us behind the scenes working on it. We have a large team helping us. And one thing that I think is so important is we don't rely on ourselves at this point. We make sure that people that have gone before us, that have a lot more wisdom and are a lot older than us,
no egos,
are guiding us.
That's awesome.
And giving us that wisdom to make sure that we're making the right choice as we grow. So, yeah.
Man, you guys are awesome. I'm so happy you're here.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right. So this round is the last round of questions. I call it the common ground round. It's a surprise round for you guys.
Okay.
In front of you, you've got some 3x5 cards and some markers there. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 5 this or that style questions, and we'll see if maybe you guys are like me. So we'll see, and I'm going to answer at the same time. We'll all reveal them at the same time, and we'll just have a good time. All right, you got a night in. Would you rather be reading comic books or a history novel? So maybe a biography, something like that, something historical. All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I went history. You guys both went comic books. What are the books you guys are reading? What would you want to read?
Class. Whenever you heard them, Alex Ross. Kingdom Come.
Okay.
It's the guy that paint. Only heard Norman Rockwell. Paints like him.
That's cool.
Classic guy.
That's fun.
Any classic old school Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to watch the old, I think it's like 70 or the 70s Spider-Man cartoon that would come on late or early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I love those. So I'd probably read one of those comic books.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah. Every now and again, I will get like super sucked into somebody's biography. On my desk, I've got that Steve Jobs biography.
Okay.
And there's some people that like, they just lived such fascinating lives.
Right.
I can get sucked into some of that stuff. So I love a good story, but also you can't go wrong with a comic book.
Marvel, man.
Yeah, man. Are you guys Marvel fans?
100%, man.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Marvel. All right. So, would you rather travel alone or travel with friends? This one is easy for me. All right, still writing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I think we all matched up. Travel with friends.
We all travel together.
I think. Do you guys want to plan a quick trip to one of our deserted islands?
We're bringing cupcakes as well.
Let's go.
Do it. Traveling with people is way better. Especially like if it's like a good group of people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man.
Traveling with the wrong group of people.
Oh, it's a disaster.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, it's no
if you
good.
speak the Espanol like I do.
Yeah,
but it's been a year or two ago. I was traveling with a group from our church, and I had to come back a day before because I needed to get here for some stuff. And they dropped me off in this capital city, and so I was by myself for a night. And I was in Honduras, and I speak enough Spanish to kind of get by.
So you're fluent?
No.
Or you're not fluent?
Not even slightly. No, I know. Let's say on a scale of 100%, I got like maybe 20%. But like I can order a hamburger. I can apparently I can order breakfast, and I can get myself to the airport. But I was kind of like creeped out. I was like, no one's out to get me, but no one understands me. And so
this is kind of weird.
Weird spot.
Yeah.
And the only channel that was playing anything in English on the hotel TV was Guy Fieri's Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives.
Yeah.
That was a good night though. So me and Guy Fieri hanging out.
Not a bad show.
You can't go wrong there.
Nah.
All right. So I know you guys are anti-allergens, but I'm going to ask you a question about some nuts here. Would you rather eat almonds or peanuts? And everyone listening out there thinking this is blasphemy based on their brand, I am sorry. Here we go. 3, 2. Did we all went almonds? Look at you.
Antioxidants, man. Hey, got to get those.
Of reasons to enjoy almonds over peanuts, I like it that you went with antioxidants.
Got to, man. Got to.
Oh man, welcome to our new podcast, Health Fanatics, with Mike and Mike. I just enjoy an almond. You can't go wrong with peanuts either, but there's a good
chocolate covered almonds, different, different variations.
Yeah, I'm just not a peanut. I've never been a peanut person ever, really. No.
So you don't like Charlie Brown?
He got me.
Good old Charlie.
He got me.
Oh man, all the Charles Schultz fans are now boycotting Mike and Mike. I'm sorry, guys. That's on me. Come on, Nate. Get it together. All right. Would you rather do the laundry or do the dishes?
Oh man.
Tough one right there.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time answering my own question. And here we go. I went laundry. What'd you guys do? Dishes and dishes.
Is your wife going to hear this?
We're both pretty good at doing both. But any reason you guys like dishes more than laundry?
Quicker.
Okay.
I mean, I was debating laundry can be quicker just depending on how much laundry you have. True. But I don't mind doing dishes. I'll just plug in a podcast and do the dishes.
Any good podcasts out there you really enjoy listening to?
How I Built This.
Very good one.
Try again.
So
Try again.
Oh.
Look at the mug in front of you.
Maybe.
Try.
Oh.
Plug him, Nate.
It got me.
Plug him in.
Maybe You're Like Me is a classic that I listen to as well, you know.
I love How I Built This too. Guy Raz is awesome.
He's awesome. He has a really cool voice, and just the way that they the production is interesting. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, all those businesses stories are super cool.
Great.
And it's crazy hearing like the guy that invented Dyson vacuums.
That was wild. Yeah.
I think, or maybe it was Ben and Jerry's, like their factory burned down, and it's just like the stuff people overcome to make the brands that we like is ridiculous.
Yep. You don't even think about it.
You don't. All right, one more, and then we're out of here. All right, we are coming up on fall. I pray and hope that we're coming up on fall. It's so hot outside.
It's bad.
All right.
But are you more Halloween or Thanksgiving guys? This one is easy for me. Here we go. I put Thanksgiving. You guys put Thanksgiving. Look at us.
Hey, man.
All right, real quick. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I'm going to say sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie? Excellent choice.
Classic right there.
Dressing, man.
Me too.
Dressing.
I love my mom
Can't go
makes
wrong with dressing.
the best dressing.
Dressing's
Can't go wrong with
classic.
dressing,
And you
man.
only get it around Thanksgiving.
It's
right?
true.
So
it's true.
The food in Thanksgiving is just phenomenal, man.
And you know what? I very much hate being scared so much. And so like in our neighborhood and around our neighborhood, we've got some people that are like Halloween fanatics, like to the point that it's like creepy.
It's like, dang, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it is a creepy holiday.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
So it's not for me.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, a day it's celebrating thanks and food.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
That's a Thanksgiving miracle right there.
Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it.
It's awesome.
Well, guys, we're kind of here at the end of the podcast. And again, I just want to say a huge thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And not only a thank you for being here, but thank you for what you guys do in our community.
Yeah, truly.
And so there's people out there that may not have heard of you guys before, and they want to get in on the desserts. And maybe they want to hear any cool news you guys got coming up. So hit us with some details. How can people get a hold of you, and what's coming up for Mike and Mike's?
Yeah. So you can reach us on social, Instagram. Mike and I are going to start being a little bit more active on LinkedIn. So if you want to learn more business tips or whatever, just connect with us. Yeah. Follow us on LinkedIn.
You guys are the first people that have ever plugged their LinkedIn. So
right.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll start and I'll let Mike finish.
Yeah.
The week of September 25th, we will officially launch
to all public stores.
Whoa, that's huge news.
So not just Greenwise, it'd be every public store you could think of.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah. Yep. So the week of September 25th will officially launch in every Publix. That was a long 10, 12-month journey, but we're finally here.
That is so cool. Congratulations, guys. I know that is tons of work and tons of like preparation and planning and meetings and all that stuff.
Right.
I bet your wrists hurt from all the paperwork that probably went into that.
It was a lot, man. I know people know us for our minis, which we're working actively to transition those to the regular store as well. But these are like the big 2-ounce cupcakes, and they'll be located in the freezer right next to the Carvel cakes, just so you guys know what to look at when go to the store.
Yeah, so get to your Publix right now. Go check out, actually, in a couple of days here, go check out on September 25th. Let's buy them out, guys. Let's just blow them away with all of these.
We need it.
That's an easy sell.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, go buy a dessert. So
it's a cupcake, man. Can't go wrong with cupcakes.
Correct.
That is awesome. Congratulations, guys.
It.
And again, thank you so much for being here on the podcast. It's a blast for me, and I love getting to meet great guys like you. And I'm so happy for what you're doing in our community.
Mike, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Mike. Seriously.
And then for all of you listening, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Maybe You're Like Me.
Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.